missile prop DREK'AR to get it through. But it is DREK'AR, who is probably the weakest character right now. Not really sure why they picked it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I guess Geno ban and Amy pick as well. Zach maybe not really too sure what they were going to pick there. But, I mean, nonetheless, I think still an okay comp in theory. But on the other end, you do kind of have Exodia with everything that's strong this patch. And the Amy, like you said, one of the most played, if not the most played in history of NASL this season pick here in the midfield with that X and the Mako that we saw last game being so incredibly powerful. Starting the game up now, Clarion Corp, I believe everybody. So we actually have 3 demo and 3 missile propulsion, so it's going to be an even spread throughout the game here.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Especially since the missile prop start, I guess the DREK'AR does rise in viability a little bit, but you're comparing the lowest pick rate midfielder to the highest pick rate right now. Aimi on the other end. Katsuna has played it quite a bit as well, very comfortable. All 3 members of EKC actually comfortable on the Aimi character, so technically triple flex. It's a bit scary, but the damage is already showing up here.
Damage already showing up here as Carmine, really low, gets the orb, manages to survive for now with the now as well, but definitely needs to be careful. But I think NXCD is the one that needs to be careful as Carmine finds the revenge dash punch here, managing to get that kill and the flamethrower in order to get the last barrier on to Soren. So well done from Carmine to keep Modern Magic tempo really far ahead of EKC. Another dash punch, not quite gonna kill as NXCD saves. I don't even know what to call. I don't even know what to call Katsuna anymore, to be completely honest with you. But goal gonna be going in anyway. Juliet punch right through Soren. Not much you can do there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too because Katsuna is named after an anime character, but like the name is misspelled. So it's a bit of a wacky name, all things considered, even with Omega Strikers having pretty wacky names altogether. But Modern Magic so far have had some really nice setups. I think EKC getting a little sloppy on the defense.
Yeah, getting a little bit sloppy on the defense. So, but to be fair to Soren, though, I've always said, and I am a firm believer of this, that Juliet is a really good pick into Mako. Mako does have counterplay against it, but it's a lot harder than a lot of the other brawlers, right? Dash Punch is actually not easy to save as the Mako, unless you preemptively stop it before the core even gets to the Juliet, right? So really not too much to do there as Carmine managing to take full advantage of the strength of the matchup here. Getting 2 points pretty early on. Not quite able to find too much there as the flip goes through on the Aimi. Clearing it for now. Soren also flip, but gets caught by the Flamethrower dash punch. Not quite able to get the last barrier here. But both the goalie and the midfielder for EKC are now low on energy and for a little bit low on health bars. But NXCD now has the potential, has the tempo on the X, but not quite able to get anything from it as Pensando is kind of just saving everything.
Yeah, really good defense coming out from the now. NXCD, though, targets the bottom side of the barrier, trying to find a pass up to Katsuna, unable to do so for the moment, but glitch pop with the cyber swipe. Once again, that Aimi combo so devastating, and now the offense really begins for EKC as they take the second barrier.
Take both barriers here. It's an even game now. As Pensando, no energy and really no abilities as NXCD blocks the sentry drone onto that top side, and Amy just gets a free shot.
Yeah, that's the kind of offense we need to see from EKC. They need to maintain possession a little bit more, it feels like. Because right now, if Modern Magic gets the ball rolling to Juliet, starts overwhelming Soren, especially on this kind of barrier layout, the Aimi KO combo, not quite securing it. But again, Carmine comes in, 2 barriers down already, and EKC on the back foot.
EKC already on the back foot as the DREK'AR Juliet are kind of just giving Soren some trouble here. I'd say it doesn't win the midfield matchup, but it definitely is really hard for the Mako to deal with overall, as the punch and the strike are enough to get through, as Soren with the clear unable to get it away, and Carmine kind of, I mean, I don't want to say solo carrying, but getting all 3 goals and getting that first draft pick shows how well he played in that set.
Yeah, first draft pick, Carmine really taken over, has been the star player for Modern Magic. And, well, looking at the draft, Knife's Edge definitely going to be a very scary pickup on this map. There are so many variants where you're forced near the edges, and with the Juliet getting that power and the speed, Going to be so scary to deal with, especially with a rapid-fire DREK'AR to aid in the damage pressure here.
Yeah, Mako getting her hands on the team player going to help with the clears. Definitely a lot. Getting them around the DREK'AR shotguns maybe a little bit better. And one thing to look out for here, Pensando taking the Egoist instead. We did not want another 3Z Breezy X with Egoist situation. Or rather, it was the Juliet that had the Egoist, but either way, you don't want the Egoist on the Brawler. It's very, very scary, so Pensando denying it altogether, but it doesn't matter as NXED. And actually, I think that was the glitch pop that just sent Pensando off the map. So they're going to have to hold 2v3 now in this power play.
It's going to be a little bit dangerous here. Fortuna trying to find the passing play with Soren. NXED rushing forward, and the strikes found. The decent timing. EKC capitalized with both barriers, but Carmine has been in this situation before, has capitalized in these situations before, but this time it just flipped away by Soren.
Flipped away for now. Still has a barrier left, but the energy on Carmine is starting to get really high as, ooh, the Amy uses the flip there to keep it away, but Carmine actually going to be going down as NXED also goes down in return to the strike shotgun, or rather the ult shotgun here for Zaxmax. We have an even game here, 2v2. I don't believe much will be happening until Carmine comes back online. Oh, I say that Amy dashes in, almost gets something, but not going to quite find anything for now as NXED trying to do everything himself, but Pensando stalwart on the goal line, able to keep it held for now. Soren, great clear, and actually it was a perfect clear because it got right where it needed to be onto the X, who gets it in that top side. Pensando, not really much you can do about it.
The sheer speed coming into play. Now EKC with a bit of a lead, trying to turn the tides compared to the first set in which they could not come out on top here. Carmine, though, constantly a threat. The dash punch does go wide, and they've been really punishing Carmine for staying near the edge too long with plenty of damage, almost taking out the Juliet, but allowed to heal up is Carmine, and back at it again, running forward with that knife's edge speed on this variant. So powerful when you're forced at the edge.
Yeah, Juliet, Carmine is basically playing on top of the edge this whole game, managing to actually survive for now. Well done on the movement there. Staying alive just by a hair almost every single time with this knife's edge movement. But I feel like EKC is definitely doing a lot better of a job, as you were saying, at punishing the Juliet for going for a lot of these dash punches. Soren now, as you can see right here, just putting so much pressure in, not letting the Juliet play the game, as finally they go down from the glitch pop and the cyber swipe there, as NXED and Amy are trying to get it through. NXED doing everything himself, but no, it's actually going to be stopped away from Zaxmac, I believe, there. And oh my god, I've never even seen that bounce before. That was really weird. It didn't even trigger the middle there, but not going to matter too much as Zaxmac now is the one that goes down, and NXED blocks the clear from Pensando, putting it in that bottom side.
EKC waking back up, it seems, one goal away from tying up this game, and they've looked clinical. They put the damage pressure on quite efficiently. The power of the IME to really scare Carmine away from the edge, scare Carmine away from being able to make use of that knife's edge to its full potential. But they still have to be careful because the Juliet DREK'AR is such a violent combination. But they combo down Carmine, who is on death's door, one hit away from getting KO'd. Running away, knife's edge coming in clutch, but flipped finally into the goal box.
Soren not letting him get away with that again, as a good mind manages to get one of the barriers, but I believe it will still be incredibly difficult here as the power play from EKC is coming to a close, but they do have the core right in the corner there as much as they need. The Firewall Sentry, though, is not going to be able to finish it as Amy looking incredibly low now. Carmine has the ball in his court, quite literally trying to do anything with it. The mine from Pensando keeping it safe for now off the team player clear, which has been incredibly hard in general, as, you know, Pensando does have actually the momentum boost rather than the strike shot or anything. So these team player clears into these really fast shots are really hard for the goalie for the Now to save. But as I say that, also really hard to save is Carmine, who dashed it straight through Soren, who just does not know where to clear it.
Yeah, finds the timing. Didn't want to clear towards Zaxmac with that missile prop lock and load, but instead hits it towards Carmine, who, although staggered in the goo, still has that dash available to capitalize. And now Modern Magic on a volatile variant. This is where they're best. They need to create some chaos, need to take these barriers quickly and score, bring it to a 0.5, put on the pressure, and that's exactly what Carmine's doing right now.
Exactly what he's doing, putting the pressure onto Soren with this Juliet, so incredibly strong right now into this Mako and NXCD trying to provide as much pressure as he can, almost getting so many kills, but Carmine and Zaxmac are just surviving like by a thread of a needle here. But as I say that, NXT finally turns his attention towards the core, and it results in a goal from it. The Firewall Sentry and the strike from the midfield going to be going in. Hey, there's me again. Let's go.
Borg making an appearance in the North American Strikers League multiple times on different teams. As we head into the draft, and now this gets a little bit scary. Speed really picking up here. Fight or flight, what I have my eyes on, but perfect form if it falls down could be a massive threat too, and NXCD thinks so as well. It takes it away in the first pick, but that fight or flight is so scary. Maybe denied by the Mako here from Soren. That is indeed the case.
Yeah, going to be denied. Going under the Mako, definitely not the best user of it, but not a bad thing either with that secondary refresh. Going to be obviously always pretty nice. The perfect form on the X, I think, is the big winner here of this draft. You do have the Deadeye Amy as well. Going to be adding a lot more knockback potential in this game. And obviously, you know, the Spark on to Juliet, the ever-looming threat of Spark stacking, but not going to be too bad here as 2 sets have already gone by.
And Deadeye Amy, Katsuna on that pick is going to be so scary. Carmine's going to need to be very careful. Use the evade. Now almost guaranteed to be KO'd here. But ducking and weaving around NXZD back to full. But look at the Amy damage output. Even if you collect an orb, even if you get healed by the lifeline, you're still on death's door.
Yeah, not too much you can do about it. The now does help the members of Modern Magic quite a bit. I think without the now, they would be dying way more than they have already. As Zaxmac and Carmine trying to do everything they can, but they basically have no energy all the time. But speaking of no energy, a flip coming out from Ayuko Kita. Oh yeah, said the name. Not going to be doing too much, as NXZ now has to use a flip on the bottom side and going to be damaging them along with it. But Pensando, I feel like, is just a brick wall this game, not really able to get past them very easily at all.
Carmine, so incredibly low, finally taken out by Yuko Kita, and now the Firewall Sentry going to be a threat. The passing around is happening, but the strike missed, and now the offense slows down for EKC, but that's a perfect ult from Soren. Boxing Pensando in, the barrier taking a flip off the bumper, defended away still though, and now Carmine is back, but NXZD closed the door on this point.
Yeah, perfect dribble there from NXCD, able to get the space in order to find that bottom angle past Pensando, who pretty much had nothing in order to save it. New point here, and this one, not really too sure if it's better for the side of Modern or the side of EKC. I think both team comps have pretty good times on this map here. Ooh, Carmine and NXCD both almost going down here, as Pensando going to be forced away, actually. Hit stun by that Firewall Sentry, losing that top barrier, and now NXCD is just hunting Carmine basically this whole game, it feels like, under so much threat, but he's doing so well in order to stay alive as long as possible. But there's only so much you can do when you're getting pressured by also the goalie in Soren this entire game. NXD now with counter flip, managing to, I guess, end up getting that last barrier, and the flip going to be putting away Pensando and the core into the back of the net. EKC are starting to run away with this one.
EKC getting on with it, but they have one thing to worry about in this point. It's the flips, the energy economy. Modern Magic have a chance here. Oh no, Katsuna, a bit of a rebound onto the own barrier, and Carmine pushing forward to Molten Bolt as well, but they still maintain it. Soren with the last second strike with the save, and now the EKC offense begins, but maybe it doesn't as Carmine's looking massive. Saved once again by Soren in the corner, and the barrier still stands for EKC.
Yeah, barrier still stands, and one thing I see EKC definitely doing a lot better is they're putting so much pressure onto Carmine, forcing him to use a lot of his abilities out early, so that he can't do things like that, right? Getting Soren a run for his money in that 1v1. Definitely not happening quite as much, but Carmine still managing to find it there, opening up the goal barriers on this specific point. Still EKC playing that triple goalie for now, keeping things forward. Carmine going to be getting that center orb, and Zaxmac going to be taking out the X. NXCD is off the pitch, and now it is a power play for Modern Magic, who are going to take full advantage of it, taking out Soren, and now it's just a matter of time before it goes in. Yuko Kita does not want to get involved, does not want to go down as well, as Modern managing to swing this one back 1-2. Still have a lot to go, but that's a good start.
This variant is one that they've been decently successful on as well in the barrier takes. And with a strike war win in the midfield, that's exactly what will happen. Soren making sure at least one barrier stays up for the moment, but it's still a dangerous spot as Zaxmac and Carmine, they're just constantly pushing up, ready to jump scare Soren with an ability, with the stealth, with Carmine trying to dash punch in, and there's the missile prop lock and load to even up this set, even up this game entirely.
Yeah, really good lock and load there. Soren kind of got caught lacking off some interesting bounces on the side bouncy walls, right? Of the bouncy barn there, I believe is what we call it. Amy Flip going to be taking out Carmine, who has been so incredible this entire game, keeping Modern Magic in it. But now what can they do with Adam? 2 seconds until he's back, managing to hold for now. Not even one barrier is going to go down. And Carmine back. Might not even matter. One barrier surely is going to be going down the Firewall Sentry. But no, managing to be saved by Pensando yet again. And Zaxmac now looking incredibly low, going down NXED. Another power play, but saved again from Pensando. They're getting greedy, trying to get both. But they can't even get one, Saya, as the power play is going to fizzle out yet again for EKC, who finally get one barrier in the end.
Finally, they get one, but they also get one of their own here. Carmine low, but not out of the picture just yet. Plenty of speed to run away, retreat for an orb. Soren and Katsuna trying to push the top side. Unable to do so, though, and plenty of room for Pensando to clear, to heal up the team, to buy some time for Modern Magic. But that time might be not what they want, as that is Carmine going down once again. The core speed picking up, and now going to have a hard time dealing with this. If it picks up a little bit more, the passing play is interrupted, though, and they're still holding on.
Yeah, Pensando actually doing an insane job this game, keeping an eye on what Zaxmac is doing and covering basically everything that he isn't. Doing such a good job as the goalie. Carmine now gets everything he needs in that 1v1 in order to get that blast barrier, but so does NXED on the other side, and that flip now going to be going to NXED first before Pensando, and he puts it right through as Zaxmac goes down to, I believe that was like glitch pop on the bottom side.
Well played, getting that extra KO on the end as well with the delay. And now it gets a little bit scary. The Awakenings, of course, on the field. I'm looking at the damage. I'm looking at the KO capability, but extra special will be both KOs and that utility that the team needs. The extra Firewall Sentry is quite scary. 1-2 punch, not given on over to the Juliet, but the Unstoppable going to be so useful when there are so many hits flying onto Carmine's face.
Is it just me, or did Modern Magic win that draft? I mean, the Big Fish is helpful, obviously, and the same with the Chrono Boost, extra special. I mean, EKC got some good stuff, but I feel like Unstoppable is so good for Carmine in order to survive a lot of this burst. Then we have Monumentalist now, which, yeah, it's goalie. It's not going to matter as much, but it helps with the healing. It helps with the range on some of these saves. And then Zaxmac has been doing a lot of KOs this entire game, and the 1-2 punch is just going to make that so much easier. So I feel like Modern Magic definitely have a lot more tools to do what they've been doing well, even better now, right?
Yeah, I think both teams got solid picks, but I think you can definitely look at it that way. The pick that might turn the tides the most is that Unstoppable on Carmine, staying alive, being the playmaker of the team. And there's no like one thing that could really deal with Unstoppable here. You have to commit an ability, and that means that Carmine is taking that much less damage, not being able to be KO'd out of nowhere, not being able to be comboed out of nowhere. On Death's Door here, almost got knocked out by the glitch bot, but still surviving, and that's a power play for Modern Magic instead.
Yeah, Modern Magic now getting the power play. Carmine looking incredibly low here. NXED maybe. Oh, not going to actually get the flip for that middle orb, but going to be using it instead for nothing, as Carmine now almost gets the KO, but does get it in the end. Doesn't even need any damage, and Ice Edge Spark is going to be all they really need. Misses the strike at the end in order to get it, and they managed to clear it for now, EKC. But still a power play for Modern Magic for 2 more seconds. Can Zaxmac find it? And he does. Soren caught off guard by the Aerial's missile prop range of the lock and load there.
Not something you see too often. Top goalies do not lose to lock and load very often at all. Might be a once-in-a-season occurrence, but Modern Magic are very happy that that was the case here. Soren and Katsuna are going to have to kickstart the offense shore up the defense a little bit here because they're in trouble, but NXZD will take it all on his own. A barrier take, but 2 barriers taken on the other end. Pensando making full use of the Monu.
Yeah, Monumentalist now making an appearance here, getting double barriers off the teleport here. Really, really well played. Carmine now forced to use the flip. Unstoppable, not going to matter when you don't have it up. Going to be forced into the goo, making such a hard time as Zaxpac is also low here. So Modern Magic going to be slowly picked off the pitch over and over again. Zaxpac, both forwards now are going to be gone for Modern Magic. It's up to just Pensando, uses the flip and gets nothing for it. I would have just kept it there, but it's not me on the pitch. It's Pensando who's just quite unable to save it as EKC make full use of that double power play.
Well, it's a bit of a 1-for-1 trade, right? Katsuna missed the flip because of the weird trapezoid bounce that went right backwards onto Soren, and Pensando used it a little bit unnecessarily, but it is whatever. So 2 unfortunate errors, and whoa, that core speed right through the middle. No one there to block it, and a glitch pop to seal that point. Now it's match point for EKC. This match point came out of nowhere.
Yeah, a little bit of a tempo swing, I guess you call it. And now it's EKC with basically all of the momentum here going into this map, which I would say though is a little bit favored for Modern Magic, as the Juliet with Knife's Edge looking incredibly strong. The Now with these mines blocking off one whole lane by themselves, looking incredibly strong here, as we see this 1v1 now on Carmine and Soren, getting a barrier from it, as we've seen almost every single time. And I have a feeling that if this keeps happening on this map, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Modern Magic's success here as they're trying to work it through the top side here. NXCD looking incredibly scary, but the core's got to get to him first for him to do anything about it. Flip now from Sword, getting it over to NXCD. Now it's finally time to make the play, getting that barrier, not even using the flip. Carmine now needs to do something with this core, but it's going to go right past him without him doing anything for it. Pensando now has to run in front of NXCD, who actually evades that flip perfectly in order to not die. Pensando now might have just saved the set, saved the game for Modern Magic with that evade. But Carmine has to survive first, but it doesn't matter. He punches it straight through as Soren not able to get there in time, and they win the set. They bring us to the last set, set 5 of the game. Carmine and Pensando, it feels like he's just saving his series for Modern Magic. Holy.
Yeah, and now as we arrive, it's more survivability here. Stagger, Swagger, Spark of Resilience, both on the board here. Potential for Awakening Energy with Catalyst as well. But what I'm also looking at is Timeless Creator Extra Special for Katsuna. That could swing the pressure as well on the other end. Bit of a scary draft on all sides, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think Pensando glad they took Egoist early on, because that Catalyst on the X is looking incredibly scary. Definitely not a weak X build by any stretch of the imagination. This draft, I will give it to EKC for sure. The Timeless with the extra special going to be incredibly good. The Hot Shot with Team Player on Soren now, and the Catalyst with NXCD. Lots of good Awakenings, going to be helping them through. Modern Magic now need to use what they already had in order to win this game here, Saya.
Gonna be difficult. Definitely not gonna be easy here with Modern Magic down. But they vaporize Soren. Carmine finds a huge opportunity, and now EKC are in a lot of trouble. They need a miracle flip. They need something on the bottom end. NXZD though doesn't lose to the lock and load here, outgoing Soren in that one moment and getting a KO as well. Carmine brought low, almost strike shot it off. And EKC have turned it all the way around. A strike war versus 2 from NXCD. Wow, NXCD clutched when it mattered most.
Hey, flash that emote, young man. You deserve it. Goalie or brawlers in the net, but good version this time. Saving the point there for EKC. And now on the next one, killing everybody. Oh my goodness, the damage that comes through from the IME and from the X, just absolutely vaporizing the entire roster of Modern Magic. Carmine now has to hold as a Juliet 1v3, but he's actually going to do it. He manages to do it for now, getting super low, might go down, but no, Pensando with the Now ultimate manages to keep Carmine alive, and he holds. Holy moly, brawlers in the net. Maybe they should change the goalie.
And they're both dying as well. So much damage, so much corner pushing. And right now, it's once again a power play that never ends. Just swap sides. Good evade by Carmine to not get caught up by the ensnared drums. But that's Zaxpac going down. KO after KO to knockback, going a little crazy at the moment as Soren sent it around up to Katsuna, but deflected away by
my.
Pinsando's primary. The follow-up is good, though, and the barriers fall.
Barriers fall, and now a little bit of a swing over to Modern Magic. Unless this goes in, but no, NXT shot not quite going to make it for now. Zaxback and Carmine have a little bit of a counterplay here, but no, great patience from Soren and over to keep it stable for now. Zaxback now looking really low, needs to be careful, might get flipped into the back of his own net if he's not careful, and Carmine tries to go for the play, but Soren has the flip to save it for now. A little bit scary, but all good. Still, Carmine now has the angle, and Soren cannot get there in time. Carmine calls him out on the top side. A little bit of an unfortunate X primary there from NXT, puts it right back to the Juliet, and they managed to find another point to equalize it.
It's really going down to the wire here.
Oh yeah.
We are rapidly approaching the end of the game, but it's constantly getting further away with each point being traded. This time, it is Modern Magic pushing forward aggressively on the bouncy barn. Carmine looking for a strike war win. Flame Flurry, strike afterwards. The follow-ups by Carmine, keeping possession forever as the barriers go down. The goal not found just yet as NXTD tries to do the same on the other end. Firewall Sentry helping out as well. The follow-ups, the flip available. Top side, flipped away by Pensando and flip burned by NXTD. Modern Magic with another lease at life here.
Yeah, has another chance. Zaxmack regenning back to half. NXTD now is looking for another kill, but Soren on the goal line needs to be careful. This map is definitely not kind to these melee goalies. Soren with the strike shot going to be holding for now. Carmine looking a little bit low, but finds the flip in order to get it to the top side. Not going to quite able to find the angle in the net. Now the Amy and Soren are going to be sitting in the net, but no, as soon as the midfielder leaves, it opens up a spot on that top side, and Carmine finds it. Modern Magic taking us to game point.
Oh, it's so tough now. Game point, difficult situation for EKC. It's do or die. You need this to try and really just take yourself to that winner side of playoffs, but it's slipping away. So much damage onto Katsuna here. Yukokita burning down, almost KO'd, but a glitch pop from range will take a barrier trade on the other end. NXZD also doing a ton of damage to Zaxmack while that's all happening, but it's still a power play here for Modern Magic.
Still a power play coming through here. Zaxmack a little bit low, but should be able to heal up in time. I'm more worried about Carmine, who has that stagger swagger, but can he heal up in time? We'll have to see. Gonna back off for now as the Firewall Sentry keeps things stabilized for now. Zaxback now going to get it on that top side, but Carmine going to go down, trying to get involved in the play, and Soren now starting up this power play for EKC, getting it forward. Ikokita and NXCD running forward, trying to get something on Pensando, but Pensando is feeling like a brick wall this entire game and healing his teammates this entire time too. The heal on Zaxback, but a little bit too late as the DREK'AR goes down. The barrier might go down here, but no, Pensando keeping it available for now, has no abilities. This is the perfect time for this team player to kick in, but no, the Amy Cyber Swipe misses, and now the power play is gone yet again for EKC, who just cannot break this man. Pensando is a wall.
Finally, the crossfire does do the job here. The glitch pops as well. The passing play is interrupted, though, by Zaxback. Almost getting the barrier, but not quite. And the ensnare drums also do not connect. Soren rerouting it around the world. The Monumental is not quite connecting. And the primary used the flip. Finally, still deflected by Pensando. Has the timing, has the reactions. Finally, another flip. Zaxmack this time. Point blank as Pensando continues to hold. Modern Magic looking for a modern miracle right now as Soren flips it forward. Pensando still holding, but in the end, it is NXCD while dying who gets the shot.
The funny thing about that is I don't think NXCD had that angle if Carmine didn't knock him like to the side there on that strike, or maybe he did, who knows, but that's what I'm gonna go with here as Carmine gets the first barrier immediately. Now this is down to the wire, Saya, as NXT looking a little bit low. Carmine and Zaxback need to be putting down some damage. Need to be putting down a little bit more effort to try to get this last barrier. The flip going to do it as Carmine does everything himself, trying to finish off the game now as Soren 1v1 in the corner, but no, going to be denied for now. NXT with the flip needs to do something here. Pensando has pretty much free reign over this entire game. Soren patient as always here, and NXT with the flip getting the first barrier here on that bottom side. Amy and X doing something, but it doesn't matter when you have the 1v1 on the Juliet versus Soren, who saves it for now. Soren playing so well in this last set, but as I say that, no, the lock and load puts it in, and Modern Magic are going to go up 1-0 in the series, Saya.
2 wins with the lock and load for Zaxmac. Modern Magic when it matters most. Soren not quite getting the strikes. So much pressure being put on by Carmine. The comp really working out in this relatively closed map. DREK'AR in a good start, in the right place, doing its job.
Yeah. I mean, DREK'AR, I said it was the weakest. I still think so, and I think everybody in the chat agrees. But if you look at the comp, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think DREK'AR in a 1v1 with Amy usually always wins that midfield interaction. You have the straight shotgun. Amy really has nothing for it except for straight damage, which we see here, 60k on both the forwards for EKC, trying to take them down over and over again. But when you have the now goalie to kind of keep the DREK'AR and the Juliet alive as long as possible, it allows them to perform. It allows them to keep the pressure on as long as possible. And with that amount of pressure, I mean, Carmine able to perform as we've seen him do. Hero of this game for sure, MVP for me, but Pensando maybe a close second, as playing like a pretty much an S-tier goalie there for me. That was incredible to watch.
Yeah, it was quite ridiculous how well Pensando was holding. There were so many cases where a lesser goalie would have lost the game, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was so difficult, but Pensando still managed to get it done. And now EKC, they're sitting at 4-2. That's a dangerous spot. That's not quite locked into playoffs. You could still fall out here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely big playoff implications here this game. Who gets higher seed? Who gets to qualify first in these games? Definitely a little bit scary. Modern Magic, I mean, this is a big shocker for me, especially Saya, because I have been watching this season, so I do know what's going on. I'm casting. I'm getting more of a picture for it, but I haven't been as active as I normally have, right? And seeing some of these names on Modern Magic do this well is very, very nice to see. I love seeing the new talent come in and just absolutely crush. I feel like the way that this game is now, some of the old names, I mean, they're still doing well, but you know, they're not as strong as they usually used to be. I feel like last season, if you see these like Modern Magic players in the NASL, you think, what are the subs doing here, right? Like, what are these guys doing? Like, how did this happen? But from the subs to the starters, they managed to take a game off EKC, who historically has been one of the best rosters in NASL. So hats off to them. I mean, I love seeing new talent do well. Carmine popping off, Pensando, who I know personally, the last time I even played with him was like probably 6 months ago in solo queue, doing incredibly well as well here. Zaxmac definitely doing as much as you can do on the DREK'AR that game as well. So well played all Modern Magic, but they still haven't completed it yet. They still got to take one more game off EKC, and this is where these new names and these new rosters really do tend to crash out more, is these extended series, right? These best of threes. Can they finish off the next game? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Modern Magic so far this season has had very good performances in the first game of the series and then fallen quite a few times. So we'll have to see if it does end up continuing here. There's been a lot of set fives that they've gone into in the first game, and then they've ended up losing. But they also have some wins, right? Especially against Demons Raw, the most notable one at the very start of the season. So this is a team that could do it. This is a team that does have that series closing factor. And also, speaking of how the field has caught up this season, I do have to agree, this is probably the NASL and the rank season where people have caught up the most, where people are getting that much better overall. I mean, this is a crazy example, but I can't lock in Pauldron's Luna every game anymore. Like, that pick is actually going to make me lose now. For the past,
I'm going to be honest, Saya. I don't think that pick has worked for a while. I'm just going to be honest here. But
now it's enough of a liability to where even I'm like, maybe not, you know?
Hey, I love to hear that. That's growth. That's some personal growth here for you. I love to hear it. And
speaking of Pauldron's fight, anyway, we're getting into the draft.
Oh, are we? Okay, sweet. No more yapping. Well, still a lot of yapping, but
and that Juno ban, Juno, a pick that Pensando has succeeded on so much, and well, it's being taken away. No surprises there. EKC do not want Pensando on the Juno. On the other end, Katsuna on the Luna. A similar factor here.
Yeah, really strong picks for both teams getting taken off the pitch here. Juliet going to be first picked yet again. Carmine found a lot of success with it that first game. Let's go right back to it. I expect EKC here on this missile prop start to start bringing out a little bit of damage here as we see the Finny already locked in, Saya.
Yep, so much damage, a possibility. But I'm also looking at that Juliet. Carmine has had plenty of great performances, just like the last game on the Juliet pick, and that is something to always be afraid of when you're facing Modern Magic. Of course, Carmine has plenty of solid brawler picks, so it's not like you can just ban that out. But, well, it's still scary. And NXT on the Centauro, not the strongest pick, I gotta say. Oh. Okay, it looks like something happened.
What happened?
They're actually selecting Aimee instead of Finny there, and they've handshaked on allowing that because apparently something broke. Well, it happens. No.
Yeah, definitely was surprised to see the Finny that early on, especially on Atlas Lab, which, you know, I mean, it's definitely not a weak pick on Atlas Lab, but it's just a little bit surprising for that to be the first thing you go for. Same comp for Modern Magic going right in. What? Don't break it if it didn't. You know what I mean. Don't fix what ain't broke. As we see the Aimee and Centauro on EKC side starting to pick up some of the classics here. NXT Centauro, probably the best in the league. Gonna show them exactly what they need. Maybe it will be a Finny on the last pick. We get a little bite breaker action. Nope, it will actually be the Rune. And then Soren actually going to be back on the Aimee here. It used to be pretty much an Aimee, and you'd hate me saying this, but an Aimee one trick in one of the seasons. Pretty much played it almost every single game. But going to find comfort back on it, go for the damage like they normally do, and let Suna on the Rune take the core to the finish line. That's basically what we see EKC do time and time again. Let's see if they can do it again here as Modern Magic with the run back. Get one more game in order to take down EKC, and EKC got to make the reverse sweep here. 2 more games in order to take down Modern Magic.
Not going to be easy here. Modern Magic heading right back to the comp that worked for them last game. At Lab, though, slightly more open, right? So a little bit more room for EKC to play around that. And, of course, this time they have Soren on the Aimee. Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Noobs. I don't know. There's noobs running the lobby here. I think they did the wrong server or something. I don't know. Oh well, we're starting right back into it. No worries.
Well, and also to point out, it's missile prop start once again. The DREK'AR feeling pretty good on both these games, I gotta say.
I think this game is way worse. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Rune can definitely lock the DREK'AR down a lot easier than the Aimee and just straight up 1v1. And then the Aimee with the Centauro can just pepper it from afar over and over again. And there's not going to be too much you can do. Then now obviously will help with the healing, but we'll have to see. This first set is going to be a little bit hard, in my opinion, for the side of Modern Magic. But hey, I thought so last game, and I was proved wrong. So let's see it again.
Absolutely. Soren this time on a much more active goalie. I think Soren has had much more success on these active goalies historically.
Oh, for sure.
So nice to see him on one. A win or loss. Like, you want to go down swinging on the pick that you're known for rather than Mako.
And go down swinging, it seems like he is, as Carmine yet again finding both barriers pretty early here already. But still needs to get the goal. Looking pretty low as well here. The Centauro needs to get involved. NXT basically has not touched the core one bit, and a great strike there from Pensando, managing to get both health bars down to half, and then a great strike, I believe, redirect there from Carmine into the top corner, finishes it. A little bit of a weird ending to that point, but hey, gets the job done.
Gets it done. Pillars now coming out from Katsuna on the kickoff, wants to prevent that situation from happening once again, but the first barrier will still be taken. And that's the thing about this EKC comp. I feel like they have a lot less immediate power in the first set.
Yeah, they definitely need to get the ball rolling a little bit more, especially when they don't have a lot of damage right off the bat, especially on the Centauro here with that spark of focus. I feel like EKC going to be relying on a lot of these ultimates, on these banishes, these firewall sentries in order to get the ball rolling a little bit. I feel like the now will be pretty much uncontested until they can get to that point. But until then, we'll see Modern Magic keep cooking it up in this corner. Soren using basically everything now on the Juliet, who is really not in too much danger at all of dying, as it feels like this kill comp just is not working yet.
Carmine pass up to Zaxmack looking for a play. Flip available on the DREK'AR. Needs to be a little bit careful of NXED and the pillars, but it's Carmine with a simple dribble and a flip KO from Zaxmack as well. Extra credit for the side of Modern Magic as they go to 2-0 up.
Yeah, obviously Flip unfortunate going down, but you gotta send a message with that KO, and a message has been sent. Don't mess with me. I am DREK'AR. That's what he typed out. That was the message as he takes the KO right off of here. Pensando now gonna be losing one barrier, but not gonna matter too much. It is Atlas Lab after all, but Banish coming in here gonna be a little bit scary, but the flip from Pensando gonna be keeping things safe for now as NXED looking incredibly low, as well as Katsuna is actually gonna go down. NXED here now gonna be the power play for Modern Magic. Soren keeping it alive as long as possible, and a great blink over from the rune to keep things stabilized in the power play. Not really going to be going too much in the favor of Modern Magic here, but they still have a barrier up. They still have the tempo. I think they still have this point pretty clutched up here, but as I say that, Carmine going really, really low in that top side. Needs to watch out, but as the evade, managing to keep things for now. But Sad Boy's angle going to be keeping it safe for Modern Magic, who it just seems like it's their game.
Yeah, Modern Magic looking quite stable. Even if they're low, Pensando just presses 2 buttons and Carmine's back to healthy. NXED with the flick does find it, but Carmine in the corner. Soren's there in time, predicts the top corner, and it is indeed rewarded on the defense for it, but it's another 1v1. Glitch Pop expended. Carmine, another passing play perhaps. Oh, Katsuna tries the Soren angle to Soren, but it's just so barely off, and Modern Magic 3-0 in the first set. The chance to deny Sparks, the chance to pick up so much power here.
I mean, honestly, I think we haven't been playing against, I say we, the players haven't been playing against DREK'AR in so long. I feel like it's such a weird pick right now. Maybe the timing's off, you know, maybe the missile prop lock and load is catching him off guard in some of these nets. That's 2 we've seen now where they've basically lost to the lock and load. So well done to Zaxmack, bringing in a little bit of unconventional pick and making it work here. I think the draft is well going to be good on both sides here. Super Surgeons and Zatara are looking really good. Monumentalist on the now as well. We're looking at Katsuna sparking it up on the rune already with the double spark going into the second set here. I'm a bit surprised that we didn't see the spark picked up earlier, to be honest with you, but Monumentalist now is definitely nothing to shy at, as, I mean, Pensando's making some of these ridiculous clears, so I can't believe some of these.
Yeah, Pensando's been a defensive powerhouse right now. Was once an emergency addition to Modern Magic, but now is just the cornerstone goalie that's helping make this team a real contender, all things considered. Carmine, the other factor, banished at the perfect moment by Katsuna, but that was almost a highlight reel-worthy play onto Soren. There was no way Soren was saving that one alone.
Yeah, Ratman Rob literally was hovering over that clip button right until the banish comes through from Katsuna. Unfortunate there for the side of Modern Magic, but EKC going to be real lucky as it leads to them going on the attack and finding that goal. NXED doing what NXED does best on the Zentara, slice and dicing his way through, managing to get ahead 1-0 in this set.
Managing to get ahead and managing to try and push forward a little more here. Not quite getting the momentum they need, though, as they lose a barrier. EKC needs the barriers on the other end. They need them fast because the damage is ticking forward, and on their team, they have no healer.
Yeah, no healer for the side of EKC here, but they do have a lot of stagger on the rune. They do have that cornerstone in order to keep things safe for now. Sad Boy's angle here on the top side yet again. You give and you take here with that back corner angle. Now Pensando looking incredibly low, needs to be careful, does not want to go down here, goes for the save, but honestly, I think you take that. You don't want to lose that energy right now. You have the chance of a comeback with this energy economy, and they're going to have to do so with it being 2-0 on EKC.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dangerous situation. Modern Magic needs something explosive right now, but EKC with an early push, forcing out a lot of cooldowns, but I think Modern Magic are happy with that, not even losing a single barrier on the top side, as they are the ones who are pushing up, putting on some chip damage perhaps on the NXED. But right now, it's all about the barrier takes, the passing plays, top side it goes, and it's traded 1-for-1.
Yeah, traded 1-for-1 on that top side barriers. Both bottom sides coming in for now. The Firewall Sentry and the Now Mine going to be really liking that one. Who can get it there first? We'll have to see. Pensando with the flip going to be actually getting the credit for that last barrier, doing what the forwards could not do in a single flip. So well done with that strike there. Pensando now needs to be careful. Looking a little bit low. Zentaro might look for a kill here, but manages to miss that last one. But the banish goes through. Will the pillar be enough? No, the pillar will not be enough. But Carmine actually goes down. To Soren there, I believe. It's the kill credit. And now they need to be careful. Modern Magic has no barrier, and the core flipped right in front of their net. Zentaro, NXCD, going to be putting it through. Borg chests that one as they tie it up 1-1 in sets. EKC came to play.
EKC now with some scaling on the board. Unfortunately, no spark available, but plenty of other great awakenings. Actually, I gotta say, a bit of a disappointing draft for Zentaro. This sucks.
Yeah, not really too much you're really staring at here. 1-2 punch probably, yeah, it's gonna be one of the better things you can get. I'd say 1-2 punch for the prime time, but you gotta leave the prime time for your rune just in case. So a little bit more damage gonna be helping. Extra special gonna be countering that damage a little bit on the Now here, helping keep things stacked up. And then keep an eye on the Adrenaline Rush on Carmine, who has been getting a couple kills in this game. So one Adrenaline Rush proc could mean the end of a point for EKC. So definitely got to be careful about that. But it's going to be hard when you're getting banished off cooldown and to basically your entire health bar. And now both barriers. So EKC off to an amazing start in this first point.
Soren and Carmine once again. One barrier taken. Carmine dash punching in for another. Trying to maintain possession and beats the pillars by holding the core with the Flame Flurry. With the net open now. Big opportunity for Modern Magic, but Katsuna's advancing up the field quite rapidly. Glitch Pop is good. The pillar blocks off the top side, but it disappears just in time. Well timed by Zaxmack as NXCD goes for a flick. Unsuccessful that time. And the creations from Pensando still defending Soren. Trying to reroute the core, trying to prevent Carmine from getting a play. But now with the black hole blowing up every single forward, it's so much danger for Soren. The bounce is awkward. Has to try and get a desperate strike, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah, I think Soren is just like, screw this. That looked a little bit unsavable there for sure. Had the flip at the last second, but whether he didn't want to or he didn't register, he had it off that strike. Just did not want to make that save there. 1-0 on Modern Magic. Not going to be the end of it by any means. Carmine feels like it's had Soren's number basically this entire series. Been calling out almost every single clear and finding so much success. But NXCD does quite the same to Pensando on the bottom side there. Nothing you can do. Zentaro doing Zentaro things. Doing basically everything as he gets the core in the net with that flip. Well done, NXCD, for that point.
Yeah, you don't often see Zentaro pop off like that so easily as, oh no, I think that was Sad Boys angling, but, well, it's just, they just wanted to get it out of there. That impatience really punishes them as it sets up a perfect drift for Carmine. Getting the KO, getting the goal, and this guy has Adrenaline Rush. You gotta watch out, it's a win condition.
Hey, I take it back. So he does not have Soren's number. Carmine has Soren's social security. He's got everything. He literally has everything of Soren's this entire game. And it's funny because I don't even think Soren's playing bad. I think Soren's doing all the right things. It's just Carmine is just calling every single thing out in a lot of these plays, getting a lot of free barriers from it. So well done to Carmine, making full advantage of the Juliet, as there's pretty much nothing you can do on the Amy once it gets right next to you. So you gotta make a play, and the rune definitely needs to help out more, or else stuff like that right there is gonna happen. You're gonna lose your barriers for it.
Oh, big banish evade. Katsuna now in a ton of trouble, manages to get the save, but it's still a 1v3, almost getting the KOs. Carmine, in a past life, that Zentaro would have died, but not quite the triple kill, but still a set win nonetheless. Carmine MVP, Adrenaline Rush Juliet. And now it is scary. One set away from losing the series are EKC. They need to find something now, but this Awakening draft is looking heavily, heavily favored for Modern Magic.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but there is the Timeless there that Juliet can't really deny, so the rune starting to look a little bit online here. Fight or Flight going over to the Juliet. Carmine going to love that one. Unstoppable going to be denied here for Soren, who would love to have it, but Zaxmack taking it away. Catalyst Zentaro is really strong, but will it be enough to carry them through here? We'll have to see. And that last play, too, off the back of Zaxmack actually finding that starting KO here, starting up the play, doing so incredibly well. And now Carmine decides to almost finish it, almost getting almost everything, basically. Both barriers Not quite able to get the goal yet, as the Rune's going to slow it down on that top side. Getting everything back, actually. Both barriers going down to basically a single pillar. And NXCD taking full advantage of the mistake there on the clear. Gets it on that top corner. So EKC not out of this one yet.
Definitely not. They do have the potential. NXCD, if given an opportunity, can find the follow-ups. And of course, it was set up by Katsuna there. With a barrier loss like that, it's looking a little bit tough. They need to hold on to these barriers a little longer, give the forwards time to cook, give Soren room to play the offense on the offensive goalie. Otherwise, Carmine just going to dance, force out abilities, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's one thing that, as you say, Carmine has been doing so well, is actually just been stalling in the corner with the score, right? Not rushing anything, waiting for the perfect moment until there's no pillars, there's no Amy blinks coming at you. Trying to find a lot of these combos, and this is a perfect example right here, just evading the banish, looking for anything, any advantage in these corners as he can, and with patience manages to find that barrier on the top side and almost gets the goal there. Soren managing to save it for now, as NXCD needs to be careful. He could get dash punch at any moment. Has the flip, might use it, but no, gonna blink away for now and heal up. Well done there, as Soren needs to flip though to save it for now. Black hole coming at the Rune, gonna stabilize this game as much as he possibly can, but it's just so incredibly explosive as a flip coming out from NXCD. Can't quite find the core, and now I'm a little bit worried for NXCD, who has nothing, and Carmine feels like has everything here, but no, Soren gonna download him a little bit better here, find some clears, play with Katsuna, play with your Rune on these corners. That's how you've been finding your success so far. Don't drop it now, but it's easier said than done, as Pensando is just a brick wall this entire series.
Banished, but only for a moment. The barrier still stands for Pensando. Flip available, goes wide, and the Oni's Blade from NXCD gonna save it just barely as EKC push forward. Pensando still holding on. The barrier still stands for Modern Magic, and Soren in the empty net is such a dangerous place to be in for the IME goalie. So much windup. Pensando still strike warning every single ability. Finally, the barrier goes down, but one more chance for Carmine. A flip available though. Oh, and Pensando, the first mistake, and it's a brutal one. EKC back with a big chance.
First little mistake there, but that's a hard one too, because it's hard to clear that with a pillar. Could be in your face at any moment. But I'd say, honestly, that came off the back of Carmine trying to go for a dangerous dribble there into the flip from Katsuna, able to keep it ahead for now. Now NXT needs to be careful, has the flip soon, and going to use the evade actually for now, but going off the pitch from the DREK'AR, Zaxmac taking him off, has 2 stacks on the prize fighter. Now keep in mind, they're going to be doing a lot more damage as we get through this set. Both barriers now going down for the side of EKC. No longer a power play though, as Carmine is looking incredibly low. They need to be careful as NXT looking for a KO, but an evade going to be keeping Carmine alive for now. And Sando doing everything he can in order to clear, and everything is enough. But as I say that, NXT managing to find a good strike in order to get that last barrier. Even now, no barriers on both sides. And another mistake for Pensando. The Rune Pillar actually going to come and clutch there. And now it's a tied up set, 2-2. These games are close.
It is so incredibly close. Katsuna now first pick in the draft, the ability to pick up something huge here.
Sparks.
Sparks available. Knife's Edge, something I've looking at quite a bit.
It's got to be Spark Agility, right? It's got to be.
It has to be. But Knife's Edge later on down the line. Egoist later on down the line has to be denied away to prevent the Egoist Catalyst from coming through. And Juliet going to have quite a few awakenings to work with here, but Knife's Edge probably not going to be allowed through, yeah.
But there's size, though. I mean, you deny the Knife's Edge, but you have to keep in mind Juliet has Fight or Flight already, and now with the size is going to be even more deadly on these dash punches. So definitely not a bad thing there for Carmine at all. And with the team player on Pensando here, the ball, I feel like, is going to be getting forward quite a bit more often from Pensando to his forwards. But Zaxmac going to be going down off the banish right off the bat here. Pensando losing both barriers as well. It looks like EKC does not want to lose this game. They want to stay in it. Carmine doing so well at keeping it forward for as long as humanly possible. Zaxmac back in the pitch, but the Rune Pillar doing so much. The Timeless Creator was such a good pickup in the last draft. But NXCD did everything it could, but it couldn't put it in the goal. As a great save for Pensando. It's not enough. The banish gets it done. As the holy moly, the Rune is looking so strong right now.
Yeah, Katsuna gets a highlight play, but before that, it's just adding on to the Pensando highlight reel. What incredible defense, forcing EKC to do everything to even get a hint of a goal, and indeed, it is EKC up in this game, but just barely as 2 barriers go down. Big opportunity for Modern Magic to close this point out, to bring it back to even, and with that flip, it is secured by Carmine. Incredible core control, keeping the core in possession, not letting EKC even mount an offense at all.
Not letting them breathe at all, striking it immediately after the flip. Gonna burn both Soren's flip and the Zentaro ultimate. The Oni's blade gonna be down for about 30 more seconds. And then there's the second barrier. Carmine doing all he can to get this game going. Strike War win. Can he get another one? No, not quite able to find it. But the barriers are still open. They'll get another chance here very soon, but needs to be careful. The Rune has the flip. The Rune has plenty of pillars and plenty of speed to work with. Pensando and Zaxmack are doing so well to just deny Katsuna a lot of these banishes. But no, the banish comes through, but not quite enough. Pensando going to be up just in time as Carmine looking really low, but gets an orb for now. EKC are finding a lot more options here with these pillars, but both pillars not even getting the barrier. What can you do versus Pensando? It feels like nothing as he denies yet again another flip.
The barrier has to go down any second now, right? No,
oh my
it's
God.
Once again saved by Pensando, opening up a shot by Carmine. Soren can't get the glitch pop there in time. 1 goal away are Modern Magic from keeping their playoff dreams within reach. They're currently 2-4 against the 4-2 EKC. They could flip that real quick.
Flip it on its head to 3-4, and they will have a chance, especially after the last game we just saw, bringing return to form to 3-4 as well, and Pensando is trying to take him there. If I said last game was Carmine's, this game is Pensando doing so much in this game to keep Modern Magic alive, but EKC is not done yet as the flip goes to NXCD here, trying to get the barrier, but Pensando keeping it alive for now. The Fireball Sentry doing so incredibly much, able to get the barrier finally with the help of Soren. That's what you needed. If you can't do it with 2, do it with 3. As Carmine now trying to get a 1v1, but NXCD going for the flip, trying to do some magic here, but it's not enough. You can't get magic done with Modern Magic, but as I say that, NXCD finding the Oni's blade, the strike, beating Pensando at the last second. There's no abilities left as they're throwing absolutely everything at them to get the goal.
It's at 5.5. Modern Magic with a slight energy advantage. Carmine, if he can capitalize on this flip, that would be huge. But Katsuna's advancing. Early offense from EKC. So scary with the Firewall Sentry and the Banish coming in. NXCD looking to set up on the second barrier. Carmine can't find the core so far. They're playing keep away quite well at the moment. And stunned away again is Carmine, as Pensando still defending. Carmine trying to find this barrier early and does manage to do so. Has a flip available, looking for 2. 2 barriers down, flip in front of the barriers. Defended by EKC just barely, but Carmine still at it.
Carmine almost gets everything done at once, but yet again falls just short. And now Pensando managing to lose that last barrier. It's no barriers to no barriers. Next goal wins. This is incredibly close, ladies and gentlemen, as Zaxmack almost has the flip. Carmine getting there as well. Pensando looking incredibly healthy too, but no, NXT goes down. Now EKC is on, rather, a Modern Magic is on the power play. Soren has the flip on the Amy, but no, Zaxmack actually kills his own forward. That is not what you want to see here as the Banish comes through, trying to make something work here. The flip now has to come through from Pensando. Zaxmack needs to do something with this flip, needs to some sort of breathing room for Carmine to come back online, which he does, and now they get the core forward. But as I say that, NXT is incredibly low, might go down here to just the slightest breath of a shotgun here from Zaxmack. The flip to the top corner, and Soren's not there in time, and Modern Magic keep their playoff dreams alive. They advance to 3-4, and EKC, with the upset, lose to Modern Magic. I can't believe it.
Modern Magic do it. They get the win. EKC now, they are in a lot of trouble. The 4-3, 3-4 range is full of demons. Demons Raw, of course, at 5-2, a little bit more comfortable, but 2 games left in the season. This is not where you want to be. 8 teams neck and neck in the race for playoffs. The only team to pull ahead is Cosmic Calamities. Everyone else within striking distance. This is a scary season.
I'm so glad I'm not playing this season. I'm gonna be honest. This is so hard. I mean, you go into the game, you load up. There's no way where I imagine Modern Magic doing anything in this game. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I said it earlier. I'm just not used to seeing these names, but I will never underestimate Modern Magic ever again in my life. Carmine might be one of the best brawlers I've ever seen, and that's after seeing the 3ZBZ performance that we had last game too, making basically Soren just like look like he just started at NASL. Like there's nothing he could even do. The amount of skill, the amount of options that Carmine is finding in these corners with the Juliet is insane, and with the help from Zaxmac and the iron wall of Pensando holding down some of the craziest saves I've ever seen in my life. I want Modern Magic to go all the way. I mean, come on. After seeing that, I just want them to make playoffs. I gotta see more of them.
Yeah, it wasn't even perfect, right? Zaxmac KO'd Carmine at the end. Like, it was sloppy, it was hard fought, but the resilience of Modern Magic, this roster, really shone through in the end. And they are in a good spot now. Not a perfect spot. The Sad Boys are lurking at 3-3 as well. Return to form. Bozo, Bunch, EKC, all vying for those last remaining playoff spots. But it is so incredibly close now.
Yeah, and depending on next game, if boys lose to Bun, if Bun can come back with some force, getting a win off of boys could mean a lot for the playoff picture. It would basically mean that the tiebreaker of 3 and 4 is there. There's be 3 teams that are 3 and 4. Right now there are 2, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, with Return to Form and Modern Magic now trying to fight their way into playoffs. If boys win this one, they're looking really, really good in this race in order to make playoffs. But that will be next game, as I think that's the end of us, Sai. Anything else you gotta say before we get out of here?
I'm hearing whispers of an interesting Sad Boys roster, but I'll leave it at that. We're going to head to the next game very shortly. That's all for us on this casting block. Keep your eyes peeled for Bun versus Boys, a rematch of the best series of NASL Season 3. Don't go anywhere.